Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024. Stand up for your country. I hope you had a nice, pleasant Labor Day weekend or vacation. We had a nice time. I put some pictures on BillO'Reilly.com if you'd like to see them. And, you know, I'm always sad when summer's over. I actually played the Beach Boys' last album. That's why God made the radio. There's a lot of great summer stuff on it. It's not one of their most well-known albums, but it's excellent. I was playing that last night, a little melancholy. But I'm happy to be here because we have 2 months to vote in a very, very historical election. And I want to spend the next 2 months educating as many Americans as I can to what is at stake. Now, many of you know, some of you don't. Our reach is much, much wider than it's ever been, even when I was on the O'Reilly Factor. We reach far more people now than I reached on the Fox News channel because of YouTube. And I'm going to, in the Smart Life segment tonight, I'm going to explain that to you. It's really some phenomenon. But anyway, we're going to stay ahead of this election story, and we're always going to tell you the truth. I know many of you want Donald Trump to win, but if Donald Trump doesn't do something well or screws up, I'm going to report it. Okay, because if I didn't, I'd be a hypocrite. And I'm not like the corporate media. And I'm relieved not to have to work for corporations any longer because they have agendas all day long. I have no agenda other than presenting what is true and going on in this country. And we'll start off with the talking points memo about how you cannot win the presidency. It's very simple. If you're on defense, you can't win. Now, as you know, a week from today, my new book, Confronting the Presidents, will be out. All right. I hope you take the time to read it. Very important book. But let's take a look at recent history. So Gerald Ford lost to Jimmy Carter. You remember that in 1976. And he lost because he was on the defensive about pardoning Richard Nixon. Whereas Carter, much like Kamala Harris, had no real experience at federal level. He was a governor of Georgia. Harris has a little experience, but both Carter and Harris never really accomplished anything at the federal level. But Carter beat Ford because Ford was on the defense. Then we had Reagan defeating Carter because Carter couldn't defend his record. Couldn't defend it. It was as abysmal as Joe Biden's record. Biden's probably a little bit worse because of the open border. But Reagan just trounced Carter because Carter was on defense. He couldn't explain why the economy was terrible, why he couldn't get hostages out of Iran. And he got waxed. Then you had Reagan winning 2 terms, all right, because he had momentum, was rolling. Then Bush the elder won, the vice president under Reagan, because he had momentum. Reagan gave him that momentum. It's a handoff. But then Clinton beat him, Bush the elder, because Bush the elder promised no new taxes and then raised taxes, and the economy was in a recession anyway. So Bush the elder was on defense and lost to a guy nobody knew anything about, Bill Clinton. You can't play defense and win. Okay? Clinton sails through 2 terms. He was on defense because of Lewinsky, but the economy overrode it. And the American economy was strong. People said, all right, as long as the economy's perking, I'll vote for Clinton. He wants 2 terms. So then Bush the younger shows up against Gore. Gore was on the defensive because of Clinton. And Gore, as you'll remember, didn't want Clinton even campaigning for him. So Gore, in a very tight race, lost. Then Bush won 2 terms, largely on the 9/11 anti-terror situation. And then Obama came in and beat John McCain because the last few months of Bush the younger's term, the economy went into severe recession. And McCain could not explain how to turn it around. So Obama, another guy nobody knew anything about, wins. Okay, now, Hillary Clinton was on the defensive because nobody likes her. It wasn't about policy, they just didn't like her. So Trump beats her because Hillary, no matter what she did, People go, I don't like her. And there's enough people that won't vote for people they don't like. Okay? And then Trump loses to Biden for the same reason, that he was demonized so badly, and a lot of it was unfair, that a lot of Americans say, I don't like Trump. So I'm going to vote for Biden, who won't come out of his basement. All right, I think I made my point. You cannot win the Oval Office being on defense. So Trump has to get off defense. He's got to stop with the controversies. It doesn't matter who's right and wrong. If you go to Arlington and the Army says, don't film it for any purpose, and you get in a controversy with the Army, even though you may be right because Trump was invited there, it doesn't do you any good. Every day, Donald Trump's on defense. He's got to turn that around. He's got to put Kamala Harris on defense next Tuesday night, or he'll lose, because the media is not going to stop. Trump himself has to put the vice president on defense, because the media won't. Okay, now whether he can do it or not, I don't know. If it were me and I'm debating Kamala Harris, it's easy. And I'm sorry to be arrogant, supercilious, egotistical. I am sorry. I don't mean to be. But I could dissemble the vice president intellectually in 5 minutes. Just ask her questions. The easy questions like, hey, when Biden and Harris took over, inflation was 1.4%. It went to more than 9%. Why? Why, madam? She can't explain it. She can't explain the open border. She can't explain the flip-flops that we'll get to. She can't explain anything. Do you believe that Kamala Harris understands the Middle East and what's going on there? No. I would ask her 3 or 4 questions about Hamas, Israel, and she couldn't answer any of them because she doesn't know. That's how you put her on defense. That's why that CNN interview didn't work. Okay, so summing up, Trump can win, but he has to put her on defense and stop any controversies. If they're fabricated and made up, and I'm going to get to that, I'll handle it, other people will handle it. But he's got to stay away from personal attacks and creating controversy. If he doesn't, he may lose. That's a memo. Okay, so today, President Biden emerges from a humongous vacation on the beach in Rehoboth, Delaware, and delivers remarks about investing in America. Okay, but with all due respect, President Biden, why would I want to invest in America when you want to tax unrealized gains? Okay, that's the kind of stuff you got to throw out there. Oh, invest in America. Why? You people want not only to take money from me if I succeed in my investment, but you want to take money if I just keep it there. It's unbelievable. Harris is doing nothing today. I don't know. But tomorrow she'll be in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And Trump is doing nothing today, but tomorrow we'll be in Pennsylvania for some kind of town hall. All right, so we're going to investigate almost every night on the No Spin News some crazy thing that you've heard about and tell you the truth about it. All right, I think that's worthy. So tonight, one of the debate things will be about Kamala Harris's record. Now, you remember in the CNN interview, she went out of her way to say, I took on the cartels. And she did it at the convention, too. As Attorney General of California, I took on the cartels, okay? Took them on. Roll the tape.
I fought against the cartels who traffic in guns and drugs and human beings, who threaten the security of our border and the safety of our communities. And I will tell you, these fights were not easy.
All right, we've investigated. We can't find one thing that she's done directly to harm the Mexican cartels. Not one. Not in California, not as vice president, not as a senator. Now, if you know one, my staff's pretty damn good. All right? We can't find any. In California, as the attorney general, she prosecuted cases that were brought to her by state and local authorities. Her office didn't do it. She didn't do it. She was presented with evidence gathered, and she prosecuted like every attorney general does. Okay? As senator, nothing. As vice president, she created a dialogue about smuggling. With whom? We can't find out. What did that dialogue lead to? Nobody knows. So she took them on. How? It's all bull. But again, if we missed it and you know it, bill@BillO'Reilly.com. Very easy. Shoot it over to me. Okay, new poll. Media Research Center conservative group. They commissioned the McLaughlin and Associates polling outfit to ask Democrats and Biden voters, independents, about certain things in his campaign. First question. Are you aware Kamala Harris supported the elimination of private health insurance? These are Biden voters. Aware 19%, unaware 81%. Second question. Are you aware Kamala Harris promoted a fund to bail out violent protesters during the 2020 riots? Aware 22%, unaware 78%. Third question. Aware that Harris supported abolishing ICE? Aware 23%, unaware 77%. Harris named the most liberal U.S. senator in 2019. Are you aware? Aware 25%, unaware 75%. And final two, Harris says she will not support criminal status for migrants who enter the U.S. illegally. Are you aware of that? 26% aware, unaware 74%. Harris supported reparations for slavery. Are you aware? 29%, unaware 71%. So that's proof that Biden-Harris supporters don't know anything. They have no idea, no blanket idea, if you want to get stronger. Why? Because the media doesn't report it. And they watch left-wing media and read the New York Times and the Washington Post. So how would they know? They don't listen to Fox News or talk radio. These, again, are Biden voters, Democrats and independents. They don't know. That's the power of the media. Everything is expensive these days. You know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world reserve currency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. All right, let's go to the mailbox. We got Paul Williams, Payson, Arizona. I would have no problem with Kamala Harris changing her mind on issues if she acknowledged and owned her previous position. I'm with you. Everybody changes, evolves, but you got to explain it. Dr. Scott Cole, Sherwood, Arkansas. I'm a longtime premium member, and before that, an avid factor watcher. Appreciate it, doctor. I want to know if ABC News sent or is sending Harris campaign sample questions. No. Now, all of that is BS. All right, these news agencies lean left, no doubt, but they're not doing stuff like that. That will put them out of business if they were ever exposed. Lawrence Cuatico, San Diego. I know that you prefer Donald Trump refrain on vicious personal attacks, but when Obama and his wife attack him personally, do you think Trump should remain silent? Yeah. And you're asking the right person. I've been attacked every day of my life for 27 consecutive years. I overlooked 90% of it because it doesn't matter. And it would obscure my ability to deliver analysis, honest analysis to you if I got caught up with all this garbage. Once in a while, I got to, I've got to teach somebody a lesson, and I will next week when the book comes out, because a couple of people were investigating. But no, you got to overlook it. Get the big picture. Win the fight. Jim Pillsbury, Dover, Delaware. My wife says Trump separated parents from children at the border. What is the other side of the story? Because if he did so, it would be terrible. The Homeland Security Department under Trump had to separate children from adults because they didn't know who was who. Nobody had IDs. So they had to interview the children separately from the adults. Now that caused problems, and now it's been modified. But it's not Trump saying, take those kids away. I mean, it's ridiculous. Harold Jensen, Mars, Pennsylvania. What can be done about the media and the bias and the outright lies? Nothing. Nothing. They have First Amendment protection. The DNC, can it be dissolved? By whom? Democrats like the Democratic National Committee. Who would dissolve it? Renel Souza, Lakewood, Washington. We love you, Bill. I like that we. My question is, in the last election, there were issues with ballot harvesting. If this really happened, what is Trump, Vance, and the RNC doing now? Well, we discussed that earlier with John McLaughlin. We assume the RNC is watching the states that are problematic, like Georgia, like Pennsylvania. We assume they are. So we hope that thing doesn't happen again. Terrence, tonight's broadcast with J.D. Vance is one of the most informative I've watched in some time. I recommend you do the country a service and allow the broadcast to be viewed by non-subscribers. It's viewed by everybody. I mean, we're carried by the First TV, by all kinds of people now, all over DirecTV. I mean, you can get me if you want to get me. YouTube. Sharon Manley of Valencia, California, please explain, Bill, why your 4 Trump shows are so important and keep them open on the website. For premium and concierge members, you can watch that anytime you want. We did the specials last week on the Trump history shows. But for our people, watch them anytime you want. Tom Suttles, my wife and I are sitting here in Southern England awaiting a 2-week trip, and we are getting BillO'Reilly.com withdrawal because it's not available. That's why you need to go to YouTube. Tom, 2 weeks, you gotta keep up with us. YouTube. Okay. Now, if you become a premium or concierge member, you get Confronting the Presidents free. This is a great deal if you were thinking about membership, because this book is out in a week. You'll get it free and the membership. Can't do any more than that. All right, we also have our political memorabilia bundle on BillO'Reilly.com store. These mugs are fabulous. You'll love them. Team Normal, not woke. No socialism. No socialism flying out of here. And then we have a very special limited edition of Killing Patton. This is a special gift. Somebody in your life, very special gift. Okay, word of the day, do not be a sophist. S-O-P-H-I-S-T. Don't be a sophist. Back with a final thought about confronting the presidents in a moment. You work hard to support yourself and your family, but it may seem like you never take that next financial step forward. If the bills are higher than what you bring in, a credit card might be what's making up the difference for you. The problem is the debt keeps on growing. Well, if you own a home, my friends at American Financing can help you break that cycle. American Financing saves people like you an average of $854 a month. Even better, it costs nothing to find out how much you can save. And if you call American Financing today, you might be able to delay 2 mortgage payments. So start your journey towards being credit card debt-free. Please call 888-462-9557, 888-462-9557, or visit AmericanFinancing.net. By now you have heard me talk about Delta Rescue. They are a fantastic organization that helps rescue animals from the wilderness. You know I'm a dog lover, so is Leo Grillo, the founder of Delta Rescue. It is his life's mission to provide everlasting care for these once abandoned animals. I myself have donated to Delta Rescue. Do you believe it is part of man's duty to care for dogs and horses, the animals that so much of our history is tied to? If so, please consider making a donation or consult your advisor about leaving a gift in your will or trust. There can be some tax advantages, and it's a great way to help Delta Rescue accomplish their mission. So please visit deltarescue.org to learn more. That's deltarescue.org. All right, here's the final thought of the day. So as I probably mentioned too much, September 10th, release day for Confronting the Presidents. And I reread the book over the weekend. Why? Because I got to do 1 million media interviews. Now, we have been shut out of some of those media outlets. I'm going to tell you exactly who shut us out for no reason, disrespectful. But you should know. And some of the names might surprise you. But anyway, I reread the book, and there's so much detail in this book that you didn't know. But we have essays on Trump and on Biden. And Dugard and I, Martin Dugard, the co-author, we see them differently. Okay? And you'll find it very interesting because I said to Dugard, you write what you want. I'm writing my essay, you write your essay on both of them. And I was very pleased the way it came out because it does give you different points of view. Now, the other presidents, all right, the opening of this show today was you can't win the Oval Office by being on defense. We show you how these people won, all right? And some of them were terrible people, awful. John Tyler, he lost. He got it because Harrison died. He's so bad. Buchanan and Pierce and Fillmore and Hoover, LBJ, horrible. And you're going to see who they really were and how they got there. And then you can apply it to what's happening now. As I said at the top, Reagan Carter is the closest to Harris Trump. But Reagan, far different personality than Donald Trump. So I think you'll find it fascinating. Pre-order on BillO'Reilly.com. You'll get it first. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million. It's going to be everywhere. 750,000 first printing of this book. Nobody gets that. But we're the biggest selling nonfiction authors in the world right now. And that's because of you. Because you guys want the truth about history, and we give it to you. Confronting the Presidents out September 10th. Thank you very much for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.